Hi, my name is Dr. Ilya Skolnikov. I'm excited to be here today, and we're back continuing our debriefing of health and hydration. So in the first parts of health and hydration, we went over a lot of things. We went over a book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. And we went over a little bit about the colon with some of Dr. John Thee's work. And we just went through so many things, it would be hard to even go over them all again, right? Because we went over so many things. So let's just kind of cover a little bit some of the, what we can take away from, what we went over. Some takeaways, some real great clinical tips, what you'd call keynotes, or yeah. So the first thing is, how much water should you drink? You're probably wondering, after going over all this stuff about water, how much water should you drink? Well, the average person should drink about 1 quart for every 50 pounds of body weight. So some people are, really overweight. Obviously, they should drink more. Some people weigh very little. They don't need to drink quite as much. But we're talking about the average person. And then what kinds of water should we drink? Okay, that's a good question. Different people are different. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. That's why it's so amazing, the kind of work that we do in the office, because we custom tailor fit our therapies to each individual person who comes in to see us. But some waters that generally seem to work well for my patients are Crystal Geyser, Whole Foods 365-day everyday value spring water. There's the Whole Foods Mediterranean spring water. It's actually, it's made by Whole Foods. And then there's a whole bunch of other waters. There's Starkey's water, S-T-A-R-K-Y''S, still water. Starkey's still water comes from deep within the earth. It's very mineral rich. What else? Let's see. There's, I think I might have just mentioned Crystal Geyser. There's Roxane Mountain Spring Water is a good water. And then there's Pellegrino is so-so. Pellegrino is a fizzy water most of the time, so it's better to stay away from the fizzy waters. There's some research showing a link between carbonated water and osteoporosis, bone disease. I don't know for sure that I agree with the research, but whether I agree with it or not, there is the research showing that, and it seems fairly conclusive. So, I drink some sparkling water myself every now and then. I mean, it's nice. The other things, the other waters that are good would be, let's see, Voss, V-O-S-S is a good water. And then if you're not going to get the Pellegrino, there's another company called Aquapanna, A-Q-U-A, new word P-A-N-N-A, and that's made by the Pellegrino company. It's more or less the same thing, it's just a still water. And there's other waters that have worked well for my patients over the years. I just can't really think of what waters those are. There's one called Mayacamas Mountain Spring Water, sold here locally. There's another one called, let's see, well, there's Alhambra spring water. Just if you're going to use Alhambra's water, make sure you're getting the spring water. Don't drink their other water, which is pretty much reverse osmosis water. Okay. So we could go on and on and on about this. I wouldn't put anything in your water. I wouldn't put lemon in your water. It changes the pH. I wouldn't put fruits and things like that in your water, or rinds to improve the flavor. I would just drink water plain without anything in it. So a lot of what I know about water came from when I used to work with a company that went out of business because of some reasons we don't need to get into, but they were called Equinox International Corporation, and they were marketing all kinds of environmental and health products. So they were very successful, actually. They'd grown to become, I guess, the 5th or 6th or 7th fastest growing company in America right around 1993. Right around 1996 or 1995. So they were real successful. Maybe it was more like 1997 or 1998. But anyway, so and what we found, I mistakenly had thought that because I was working for this company, that filtered water out of a really good filter was good, but you never want to drink filtered water because filtered water is just a filter, okay? So you could buy, they had this expression when I worked with the company, you could buy a filter or be a filter, meaning you could be the one filtering out all the water or you could just buy a water filter. And that sounds nice, but the filtered water is still the same tap water, it's just, you just take out a lot of the chemicals. So the electrons spin a certain way, and there's a certain energy to the water that you can learn about from Emoto's book, The Many Hidden Messages in Water, and also from some of the information I already went over with you on the first few videos. Okay, so I wouldn't suggest any filtered water. And so the filtered water, you know, a lot of the best filters will filter out about 99.8% of what's in the water, but I don't want to have the 0.02%. I don't want to have 0.02% lead, mercury, arsenic. Okay, which brings us to the next thing, which is you may want to know, you know, what's in the water. Okay, so let's go over what's in the water. There's a lot of things in the tap water. I've been noticing, I noticed over the years that the water quality, you know, that your water company will send you a bill in the mail showing you all the chemicals in the water. But sometimes it seems like they're not sending it every single year because I haven't seen it for a while. So I haven't seen it for a year or two. But when they send it, you can read through it and they'll list all the chemicals in the water. And in that list, it's amazing what's in the water. There's pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and emulsifiers and food stabilizers and additives and colorings. There's trihalomethanes, there's benzene, there's trichloroethylene, there's polycarbon benzenes. There's all kinds of other types of benzenes and hexanes, and there's even a little bit of halogen material in there. These are all toxic chemicals. I think I just mentioned the trichloroethylene. There's chloramine, which is a mixture of chlorine and ammonia. Of course there's chlorine and there's ammonia in some waters. Mainly in Southern California they use chloramine, not so much in Northern California. And all the states, they put this stuff in the water. And different states are different. Like Colorado tends to use a little bit less of these chemicals, but anyway, every state is different. Arizona uses more, Colorado uses less. Silicon Valley has some of the worst water in the country. I mean, it's disgusting. There's also dirt in the water, which is not really that bad, but it's in the water. And then there's radioactive material. Okay, there's a lot of nasty stuff in the water. There's drugs in the water, literally. There's prescription medications that are found in the water, no joke. They've found cryptosporidium in the water. Yes, oh yes, in more than 1 or 2 states. And, you know, sometimes these were considered public health emergencies. They were so bad. So let's just keep going. I wouldn't suggest tap water. I wouldn't suggest filtered water. Drink it if you'd like. Take this information for what it's worth. It's up to you. Just trying to help. Okay, let's go on to, well, we just kind of covered a lot of information. So we went over all this information about tap water. And remember, dehydration is implicated in a lot of different diseases. I mean, we're talking about fibromyalgia. A lot of pain is due to dehydration, and that's what that book was about by the Indian fellow. Have that book around here somewhere. And then any kind of back pain, neck pain, nerve pain, night sweats, hot flashes, a lot of thyroid conditions. You know, a lot of these chemicals shut down the thyroid. Insomnia, oftentimes, poor digestion and a toxic liver that can lead to insomnia can be due to problems with the water. There's just a lot of troubles that a person can have due to bad quality water. Headaches can be caused by dehydration. So let's get it all worked out, and we'll see you on the next video. We look forward to helping you in the office. We can help with all these things. Okay, thank you.